Good morning, children. Our today's topic is the last topic of this chapter, that is obtaining the foreign gene product. Before starting this topic, I want to make you recall that up to where we have completed. Actually, all of these are the steps of recombinant DNA technology. Again, I am repeating that we have already completed that how this desired DNA is being obtained or isolated from the source cell, and how do this plasmid DNA is isolated from the bacterial cell. Then the fragmentation of this source DNA with the help of restriction enzyme, and this also to be cut by the same restriction enzyme. Then the polymerization of the desired segment of the DNA, polymerase chain reaction. Once the multiple copies of this desired segment is formed, then it is to be ligated with the plasmid DNA. So this recombinant DNA is formed. Now in the previous video we have seen that how this recombinant DNA is introduced into the host cell. Okay. Now the question arises that why this recombinant DNA is formed, or why this desired segment of the DNA is introduced into the host cell, and why this host cell is need to multiply. Because when this host cell will multiply, then the desired gene will also multiply along with the host cell. So the question which is there, that why this recombinant DNA is introduced into the host cell, or why it is formed, or why, what is this desired gene coding for. So this desired gene is actually coding for a product. That means this whole biotechnology is being done to obtain a product. Okay, now we are coming to our own topic of today's topic, that this is been done just to get the product. So the ultimate aim is to produce a desirable protein. Protein is the product only. Okay, but the foreign gene which was introduced into the plasmid DNA and recombinant DNA is formed, that foreign gene is actually need a complete how it will express itself and how do the protein will be formed. It involves a complete understanding. Okay, for that the various conditions are required to produce the culture medium that is to be required. In that culture medium the desired protein will be formed, and the other conditions, optimum conditions are required for expressing the gene of interest to produce the desired product. Okay, so the protein or the desired product which is formed in the host cell, that is a heterologous host, because the gene is from other cell but it is producing its product in the another cell, so that is called as recombinant protein. So this is one thing. Again I am going back to the same diagram, that this gene which is being introduced into the host cell, so this is called as heterologous host, in which the protein which will be formed, which is coded by this desired gene, so that protein which is formed in this host cell is called as recombinant protein, and this host is a heterologous host. Okay, up to here we have completed. Now we are here coming that the continuous multiplication of the host cell is required in the culture medium, and to maintain the cell and its physiologically most conditions are to be maintained for the exponential growth of that cell, so that a biomass will be formed which will lead to the higher yield of the desired protein. Okay, but small volume of cultures are not appreciated to produce large quantities, so that there is a need of bioreactor, and these bioreactor where the large volume 100 to 1000 liter of culture can be processed. So here they have shown two types of bioreactor, and this is the stirred tank bioreactor, this is sparge tank bioreactor. So this stirred tank bioreactor, you can see here the processing of the product can be done And in this, what all are the parts? This is the motor which acts as a agitator to once it will be agitated, then foam will be formed, acid base pH control, temperature control system is also there. And here this is the sterile air, it is to be pumped into this agitator, and this is the culture broth. So all these systems are there in the stirred tank, which are being written here, what it consists of. So number one, in this bioreactor, this is a vessel. In this vessel, the raw material is processed, and it is processed in the form of a specific product, and that product can be a enzyme also. This bioreactor actually provide all optimum condition to obtain the desired product and for the optimum growth. So what conditions are there? That is the temperature control system, pH control system, and all vitamins and oxygen and salts. Every condition is provided for the growth of that product. Okay, here again they are giving the stirred tank reactor. This is general one, but here they are explaining specially the stirred tank. So this stirred tank reactor is usually a cylindrical curved base cylinder in which there are the conditions which provides the oxygen. There are the conditions by which the temperature can be controlled, pH can be controlled, oxygen delivery can be controlled, and also a agitator is there, and sampling ports. Once the product is formed after processing, it can be withdrawn periodically from this stirred tank bioreactor. So this is the structure of stirred tank bioreactor, and this is the diagram. What is bioreactor? It is been explained here, and what is the need of bioreactor is also explained here. Okay, but introduction is there at the back. And this is the sparged tank whose description is not there, but it is bubbles are formed here also by agitating by this agitator. So this is the sparged tank bioreactor. Now it is coming the downstream processing. Downstream processing, it means the sample which is been withdrawn from this bioreactor, that sample is to be purified by the method of downstream processing. The process includes separation and purification, which are collectively referred as downstream processing. So that in this the suitable preservatives are being added, and after the downstream processing there is a quality control mechanism is also there. Clinical trials before formulation in undergo through clinical trials. That means suitable preservative is to be included, is to be added. After that, so many clinical trials will be there before its commercialization, and there is a control testing which is also required, and downstream processing and quality control testing all vary from product to product. Means for various products the quality control method is different, the amount and the type of preservative will also be different. So this is called as downstream processing, which mainly includes the separation and purification of the product, adding of preservative and quality control method by various clinical trials. Okay, and thank you. This is all about this chapter. This diagram and this description is there for the bioreactor which is stirred type, and again it is very important. Thank you.